Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another DIY for you guys. I am, once again, not welcoming you by being on camera because for the life of me, I cannot find a way to look like a presentable human being while doing one of these DIYs. But today I will be redoing this bedside table and making a modern version of it. I am currently in the process of redoing my room and I really wanted all the wood to match, and after looking it up on Pinterest, this is the suggestion that I decided to go with, so let's begin. This bedside table lamp actually came with a pretty beat up lampshade. It's old and it's sort of ripped apart, so I started by taking out the hardware from the previous lampshade because I need that to attach to the new lampshade that I will be making. So once I'm left with the part that I need, I can now set that aside and begin making my lampshade. I'm going to start by creating a mixture with just ordinary craft glue and water, and this will serve as my adhesive for the twine. Next, I'll be tracing the lampshade hardware onto this rubber ball that I will use to structure my lampshade. And this is just so I know the area that I have to work around. Once that's done, I'm just going to prop up my rubber ball on this spray paint cap that I have. To start creating this twine lampshade, I'm just going to be soaking the twine onto the glue mixture that I created, and I also used more glue around the circle where I will be attaching the twine first, just to reinforce that area because I will be tugging on the twine a lot. So I'm just going to be starting the process of wrapping the twine around the ball. You want to make sure that you wring out the twine a little bit as you go. You don't want it to be too wet. So for this, I actually wrapped the twine in batches, and after each batch, I let it dry. When I would get to the end of the twine, I would just wrap it around the twine that's already attached and create sort of a little knot, which I can then reinforce with glue. I also reinforced the entire thing by brushing glue onto it before letting it dry and repeating the process. So this is now my second batch of twine, just repeating that process over of wrapping the glue-soaked twine onto the ball. Since I already have that first layer of twine and there's more friction, I'm not really as careful with wrapping it around just because the twine already has something to cling to. So I repeated this process about 3 times and then reinforced everything with glue again and then left it to dry overnight. Once the twine was completely dried, I just used my needle thing to deflate the ball and then take it out. Since the twine has been reinforced with so much glue and it dried properly, the structure essentially was the same even if I took out the ball. Ta-da! It's very pretty. After I'm sure that the lampshade is structurally sound, I just checked that the hole that I made was big enough and matched up with the lampshade hardware that I would need to attach it to later on. For the next step, I just spray painted my bedside table stand in our little Fix-It-Felix garage so that I can keep the smell from annoying the neighbors. Once that's done, and while I'm waiting for it to dry, I can move on to the next step. For the table itself, what I did was I sanded down the wood to strip off the shiny stuff and the color that it had. Actually, I did make a mistake with this step. The sandpaper that I used was a bit on the coarse side. I mean, it turned out okay, but if you're going to try something similar to this and you don't have one of those electric sandy things, you might want to try sandpaper with less coarse grit. Once I was finished with that, I just applied some mahogany wood stain. Even though I used the coarse sandpaper, the wood stain was very merciful and still adhered to the wood. Once all that was done and dry, I was pretty much done and just needed to reassemble the thing. Putting the screws back in place. Since my lampshade is this dome shape, it doesn't really have another hole on the other side, so I'm attaching the lampshade hardware to the thing first. And then the light bulb, and then attaching the lampshade with some wires. Just cut off the excess, and then I'm pretty much done at this point. This DIY was pretty easy, and considering that I had no experience whatsoever, it turned out pretty okay. I kind of liked how it turned out. Really, it was not hard at all, as long as you are patient. I hope you guys picked up some useful tips from this project that I did. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!